You having if you're having a good time, I want to see you clap. Wow. Okay. Okay, Chris, 'cause I was getting ready to call you out. Chris Poole, I was getting ready to call you out. Okay, now we're in for our next treat. We are getting ready for our bonus workshop from Mr. Mark Brown, entitled 8 Ways Leaders Get Things Done. 8 is spelled A-T-E. Okay, are you ready? Leadership is a challenge, no doubt about it, but success will get you through practical leadership. In this session, Mark Brown will reveal time-tested techniques for successful teamwork as he expounds upon practical but powerful leadership principles. When applied, these principles will catapult anyone to leadership success.
Ready to get out the door? Do we know? Haven't got any feedback yet.
Okay, somebody is speaking. Mute yourself. Thank you. Okay. Having been thrust in positions of leadership during his youth, has a unique perspective on 21st century leadership, which he will share during this presentation. 8 ways leaders get things done. Please help me welcome the 1995 World Champion of Public Speaking, Certified Speaking Professional, Mark Brown.
You might be wondering, what does 8 even mean? Show of hands, who thought I got it figured it out or I have no idea besides me? Somebody said to me, do you know what you will share with the people this afternoon? I say, I can't wait to hear what I'm going to say. But if you listen to it in your ears, I'm going to share 8 ideas, 8 simple, very practical ideas today, but they all are spelled A-T-E, and why in the round world did I do that? That makes sense. After the first one, you'll figure it out. These are 8 simple, very, very simple, truly time-tested methods for elevating your level of leadership, and hopefully they will complement the whole T-factor approach. Simply put, all of the ideas I share with you are one word, and they end with the letters A-T-E. So these 8 all end with 8. And the first one I figure you probably all know would be what? Who's going to guess? Look at the slide. What are they doing on the slide? What are they doing? What are they doing?
Communicate.
Oh, they're going to communicate. Exactly. They're going to communicate. And I put that slide there for a reason, because there's one lesson I learned in leadership regarding communicating. Not everyone communicates in the same way that I do. On the slide, someone's using a mobile phone to send a text or an SMS or a WhatsApp. What's up with WhatsApp? Someone there is on a mobile phone having a conversation. Someone is communicating on their laptop. It could be any of several different means. And the fourth option, bottom right, shows someone communicating by email. So there are different ways for us to communicate. The slides are very simple. They're almost elementary school level, but my brain is very simple, so I'm going to keep it very, very simple. I do want to expand on this particular point in a special way. Among us, beyond our leaders within Toastmasters, there are some of us who have an opportunity to speak outside of Toastmasters. Some may get an opportunity in a community with a service group like Rotary, Kiwanis, or so on, and 1 or 2 or more may find yourselves given the chance to speak professionally to an organization. Some of the ideas I share, they're all very simple, but I'll make reference to beyond Toastmasters with the belief that if I can help you in Toastmasters and beyond, I'm serving you well. Does that sound reasonable? Okay. Yeah. So what I always say is this: when you communicate with a client, not only within our organization, but within a client, find out what their communication style may be. I learned over time that some people communicate in different ways. There are people who like to use Gmail. Don't use Coxmail or AOL. I only want to use Gmail because it goes to my Google Calendar. I'm a Google person, and that's what they live for. By a show of hands, can anyone relate to that kind of person or met someone like that? Exactly. I use LinkedIn a lot. You'll see top middle on the image. I use LinkedIn a lot. Some people use messaging. Some give me the phone. I've had to work with different organizations, and they say, look, you want a video call? You have to use Microsoft Teams. That's our standard. Has anyone encountered that before? Show of hands. Thank you. Again, if we're aware of what the other person uses and if we're willing to use their communication style, what are we telling them? I care about you, how you think, how you feel, how can I serve you? It's a subtle message saying, I value working with you. I'm willing to communicate with you in a style that serves you. I'm not saying you will always do that, and hopefully there are those who will choose to communicate with you in the same way, and they'll say, what's best? A Teams call, a Zoom call? You want a phone? You want a text? How do you do that? I've also learned some of the younger folk in our association and outside, they know the world in which this is king. They talk by text. I can recall when AOL Instant Messenger first came out and our kids had it. They would send themselves instant messages while sitting on the same sofa at home. And to this day, many people still depend on the mobile device. In my international travels, I was surprised at how many individuals and organizations have 85 or 90 different WhatsApp groups on their mobile. Who's seen that before? So when I travel to India, to Europe, all my communication is on WhatsApp. And they have WhatsApp groups. I'm a member of the Virtual Speakers Association International, aka the VSAI. And I get VSAI WhatsApp messages all the time. They have different groups in the VSAI. So we've got groups within groups within groups. But that's how they talk. Don't send them a text. Don't email. Just use WhatsApp. I don't want to flog a dead horse, but maybe one or two of those icons are unfamiliar to you. So FYI, for your information, you'll see that's actually called WeChat. Is anyone here familiar with WeChat? A few. Excellent. I use that in China. In China, you can't get YouTube, you can't do Google. In China, you do what they do. When in Rome, do what the Romans do. WeChat is a powerful app. I think by itself it's 1 gigabyte in size. But they pay their bills, they communicate, email, video chat. They send large files you can't send by regular SMS text. It's a very powerful app, but that's what they use. So I maintain WeChat with China. I had a convo last night with somebody in China on WeChat. Of course, Zoom, and Google Meet. I simply say this, to be effective when we communicate, let's make sure we make it easy for the people on our team to communicate with us. That's the whole point of this. Make it easy for them to communicate with us. And when I say understanding their communication styles, it has served me outside Toastmasters as well. You might want, if your image of my screen, of my PowerPoint is small, you might want to slide it over and expand it, because I want to briefly share with you an actual email stream, a thread that occurred 7 years ago when I was being asked to speak at an event for Toastmasters. In this particular email came to me third party. The original email you see there was a request for a district Toastmasters conference in the Bay Area back in November of 2017, almost exactly 8 years to the day as today. That's what the request came. Someone within my organization said, oh, Mark would be a good fit for this. I'm going to talk to Mark and ask him. Now, they could have emailed to me and say, hey, Mark, below in this email, you'll see that Toastmasters in California would like to get a keynote speaker. Would this be of interest to you to serve your fellow Toastmasters? That's what they were thinking. This is what they sent to me in green. One word. Interested? Okay. That's how this particular individual communicates. My brain says, hey, thanks so much for offering it to me. I would love to serve my fellow Toastmasters in District blah, blah, blah in California on November 17th. However, unfortunately, I'm currently scheduled for a different event. I have to do a TLI for D103 in Chicago. Ha, ha, ha. My brain is saying that, but my fingers type this, unavailable. Why did I send back a one-word response? And the answer is, who's going to open the mic and tell me, why did I do that? Anybody?
Because the request came in one word.
You matched their request.
Exactly. I mirrored the style of the person who emailed me to give them a level of comfort that says, look, Mark understands me. Mark knows my style. He gave me a quick short answer. And in your career and in your Toastmasters world, you will meet individuals who are much more terse. Yes, no, maybe, 3, fine. Others will be, let me consider for a moment. It might be an idea to use 3, but we could also use 4. And you find yourself cringing. Get to the point. Do not raise your hand if someone in your district did that to you. Okay? I simply want us to be aware that how we communicate sends more than simply a response. It sends a message to our team members, our associates, that we value what they have to say. And my wife and my kids, who are not kids, my youngest is 31, so my children are older. They roll their eyes at me when they try to explain things to me, and I say this, talk to me like I'm 5 years old. They roll their eyes, oh, Dad. My wife's like, honey, because I'm going to confess. No, oh, she's not there. She's not hearing me say this. I'm going to confess. There are times I want to get to the point. But my wife, God bless her, I love her, wants to give me the background behind the point, the story behind the point, and the details she thinks I need to know. So, honey, when are you going to get back? Well, I got to go to the store to get some groceries, and I promised Shirley I'd come and see her before I got home tonight. And she goes through in her mind, but verbally, exactly what she has to do. And I'm thinking, just give me 7 o'clock. But I've learned after 43 years of marriage to shut up and let her talk. There is a bit of mirth and merriment here, but I think you get the point. I don't need to belabor it by any means, but for you to understand, it really is important to know how to communicate, and to communicate clearly and to communicate well, which also has to do with how we say words like no. Because if we say the word no in a very terse manner, for some people, it has an emotional impact. Someone brings a nice idea to you, they're excited about it, and you realize it's not going to work in its current form. And, somebody may say, oh, that's a dumb idea, it's not going to work, give me something else. That's their style. Somebody else might say, ooh, Mark, I like the way you think, but in this current form, this might not work. Look at that second step you've got there. If you work on that and get back to me, perhaps we can implement it. They both said no, but they said no in different ways. So I'm going to ask you this. How do you say no? It's important how you communicate. So the first 8 is C, communicate. There's no acronym here or acrostic. It's just different words ending in ATE. The first is to communicate. The second one is educate. Wait, it's not my job to educate them. Well, you might wonder why I chose that particular image. I'll tell you. I'm going to stop sharing and just get full screen on my mug for a second. I chose that image because the lesson about educating people came to me in a very strange way. I was watching a film called Rocky III many years ago. A third of, 19 Rockies, I don't know how many are out there. But to get to Rocky III, Rocky I, unknown boxer, fights Apollo Creed, barely loses, and now he's known. Rocky II, Rocky fights again Apollo Creed, and Rocky wins the title. Rocky's the new champion, and he retires Apollo Creed. What in the world is going on? Rocky III comes along, and he's now challenged by a man named Clubber Lang, played by Mr. T. A pity the fool mess with me, sucker. And in Rocky III, Rocky fights Mr. Clubber Lang, and gets knocked out early in the fight. His dear beloved manager, Mickey, played by Burgess Meredith, the Penguin from my previous speech, like Steve Levine, he dies. Rocky hits a low. He can't come back from it. His wife can't get him out of a funk. He is done. And wonder of wonders, Apollo Creed, the man he beat to win the title, agrees to help him and works with him and brings Rocky back to a place where he can fight again. And of course, it's a Rocky movie. He fights Clubber Lang, and of course, Rocky regains the World Heavyweight Boxing Championship. Woo-hoo! Rocky, Rocky. But the lesson for me came at the very end of Rocky 3. Final scene. Apollo Creed, the mentor, Rocky Balboa, two warriors, put the gloves on, and they're in a deep, dark, dank dungeon of a gym. No flashing lights, no fans, no crowd. And Rocky says, "Oh, I'll mess you up, I'll mess you up," which means I'm going to bust you up. And Apollo Creed says, "I'm still young enough to whip your butt, stallion." Rocky now is a world champion. So, I will do that, man. I know everything you know. I know everything you know, man. Which means in English, how are you going to do that, man? You taught me everything you know. You taught me everything you know. And the lesson from Mark Brown came in two words from Apollo Creed. He said, almost everything. I paused. Wait a second. Apollo Creed taught Rocky almost everything he knew, not everything he knew. Have you ever encountered a supervisor or a manager who held something back? They want to keep their job secure. They feel threatened by somebody who's up and coming, who shows potential, who's eager, who's a sponge, willing to learn, and they don't quite share everything they know. Those words, almost everything, reverberated in my memory when my mentor, David Brooks, 1990 world champion of public speaking, who invested in me for a year to help me win a world title, said to me, "Mark, I'd be happy if you surpass me." What? A man I revered and respected said, "I want you to surpass me." Because he saw in me potential to go beyond that skinny, knock-kneed, buck-teeth, floppy-eared Jamaican kid with a high school diploma and 40 bucks in his pocket who came to this country 45 years ago. And as leaders, are we willing to give away the farm, see potential and invest in it, and share and educate and teach and mentor, shorten their learning curve, share your mistakes and your failures so they don't make them? A good leader is willing to educate the people who serve with them. So I ask you, are you willing to communicate as they do? Are you willing to educate them, help them to achieve, because you see the potential in them to do just that? I only ask because I believe that we have not only the ability, but the opportunity to serve others by being willing to educate them. Does that generate any thoughts or question? If it does, pop it in the chat, and I'm going to ask someone who's in the chat to kind of keep an eye for me. So we communicate, we educate, and whatever style you use, you educate with your style. That's the important thing. We need not be like somebody else. I know I'm talking Valerie Lyons' language because she's an educator, but I know she also shares what she has learned because she sees the value in investing in other people's lives, their skills, their talents, and abilities. And I invite you all to do the same. So please, do all you can to educate those who will serve with you. Shorten their learning curve. Make them feel, I got this. Not only must we communicate and educate, sometimes we want to keep everything close to the vest. We've been told the old adage, if you want something done right, do it how?
Do it yourself.
Oh, do it yourself. DIY. Listen, you can DIY all DAY, but you won't get things done the way you want. You want to get things done? Be willing to delegate to someone else. Be willing to let someone take the reins, especially if, go back one step, you're willing to educate it, help them and educate them, and you see what they can do, give them a chance. You know what? I'm curious to know, with a Y in the chat, have you ever been given a responsibility within Toastmasters or outside Toastmasters for which you thought you were ill-equipped, but someone trusted you to do it anyway, and they delegated that responsibility to you? In the chat, give me a Y for yes or nothing at all. Okay? Okay. We got some yeses going on here. Oh, sweet. I love it. Okay. When that happens, and you finally accomplish the goal, what does that do for your confidence, your self-esteem, and hopefully your willingness to help other people as well by delegating to them when the time is right? It's also when you delegate to someone and you entrust them with a responsibility, even if they doubt themselves, if you're willing to educate them along with that and work with them, you have no idea what it can feel like for them to achieve that goal. I can remember when I was asked in 2014 to serve as the youth conference chair for the National Speakers Association annual convention in Texas. Yeah, I talked to youth. I used to give talks to youth all day long. I used to give 185 talks to youth a year, middle school, high school kids. So does that qualify me to be a leader of a 5-day-long convention for youth? But the president of the National Speakers Association USA thought I could do it. And their system was very good. They said, okay, you're going to be our chairman in 2015. You come in 2014 as the vice chair. Look, learn, get your education. We believe you can do it. I called several people. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I'm not qualified for this. And I was told, Shep gave it to you because he believes you can do it. He delegated that responsibility to you because he trusts you. And he set you up with 1 year of training to make sure you can do the job well. I don't know if you provide any other extra mentoring within your district. I know some districts do. And they take the idea of a mentor as being very, very serious. But I encourage you to think about this. Is there someone on a team, not only in Toastmasters, but in your life, who could be that individual given the opportunity who just might shine? And reverse that by asking yourself, did someone see something in me at some point in time and gave me a chance to shine? I'm glad they did. If that's you, give me a wave, give me an emoji on it, give me a thumbs up, give me a balloon, give me a smiling face, something on the screen so I can see. I'm going to go through I'm going to go to my next screen if I can find it. Here we go. All right, good. I got, yes, thank you. I love the balloons too. Excellent. I remember a quote from Teddy Roosevelt. Please understand, at the time when he was leading this country, a lot of men were in charge. So in this particular quote, he talks about men. Please understand, 21st century perspective, it involves individuals. But he said, the best executive, I'm going to find that page for you. Let's see where it is. Come on, Mark. The best executive is the one who has the sense enough to pick good men to do what he wants done and self-restraint enough to keep from meddling with them while they do it. Have you ever had a manager who was always physically over your shoulder? Watching everything you do? It's like, really? Would you believe that Steve, my penguin boss, that was Steve? I remember one day, no lie, I'm at my computer, I'm sitting at my computer, and I'm tapping in code, and I could just sense the presence was there. And to my chagrin, he reached over my shoulder and tapped a keypad on my keyboard. He tapped the key. Steve, I got this. Okay. I'll go. And he took off. He was hovering. If you delegate, give them a chance. They'll figure it out. One quick fictional story. Old TV series called ER was on many, many years ago. And there was one scene where there's one guy named Dr. Romano, Rocket Romano, was about 5'5". He was a tough, mean guy, head of surgery and in the ER. And patient came in, had to get work done. And one of the new doctors or residents was in there, and they saw the patient and they began to panic. Page Dr. Romano. Romano comes, he gets to the ER, he gets to the door with that little glass window you can look in, right? And he holds the door handle, he looks in, and he sees the doctor. And Romano slowly leans back, lets go of the handle, and just watches. He watches. Because he knew once that doctor calmed down and figured out what they had to do, they would do it. He just watched for about 15 seconds. He's not here, he's not coming. The doctor took a few breaths, calmed down, and all of a sudden, all the training kicked in, began to give direction as to what to do. Romano watched close for about 15 more seconds and slowly walked away and said, job was done. The responsibility had been delegated, and he could have stepped in, but he didn't. And there'll be times you might be tempted to step in. I ask you to use wisdom and discernment and decide when that time may be, because there will be those times. But there may be times, just take your time, take a step back, and allow the individual to show what they can do. Give them the chance to fail or to learn. Discretion and wisdom are the key. But yes, communicate. Yes, educate. Yes, delegate. But there are also times you need to participate. And when I say participate, I mean be a part, but not a pest. Don't hover or smother. You can mother or you can smother. And it's not about gender here. You can mother or you can smother. And I suspect there are individuals here who have been smothered and others who have been gently mothered. I think of the hen with the chicks. At first look, they're under her wings. You might think, oh my gosh, she's smothering them. No, she's just covering them and showing them some boundaries. I hope this makes sense. Because in real life, we're going to have managers, supervisors, and leaders who don't quite get everything right every time. But we can be the ones to understand what is my level of participation. I've watched leaders who have a closed door policy. Can anyone relate to a leader like that? You have an issue, a question, a problem, and they have a closed door policy. They say you're on your own, figure it out. How'd that work for you and for them? And is anyone here willing to spend 15 seconds or maybe 30 to briefly explain to us your experience dealing with a leader who did not have any level of participation, who had the closed door policy and let you to figure it out, and you probably didn't even always work out for you? Anybody want to share a quick anecdote? 5,
I
4.
would like to.
Go ahead, Valerie Smith. You went first. Go for it.
I had started working at this financial institution, and I was actually in the actual branch. My manager was 2 steps away, and she said, "I'm sorry, I'm on lunch." She said, "Email it." I said, "I just need an answer. I'm brand new," and she just refused to give me an answer. And she said, she looked at me. "I'm on lunch." I'm like, and that scared me. I was like, "Oh my God." I said, "So what am I supposed to do?" She said, "Email it." And then
How do you navigate that? How do you resolve it?
I mean, resolving is like, what company am I working for? And this is how they communicate. Wow.
Okay.
So because I was new, I had to learn the culture, and then I had to tell her how I felt, because I'm a one-on-one person. And then she kind of changed her ways from doing that because I was brand new.
But you chose to communicate with her.
Yes.
In a way that she could understand.
Yes.
This all works together, because you didn't say this, Valerie, you didn't say this, but a word came to my mind: morale. If we do not find the balance in how we communicate, how we educate, how we delegate, and how we participate, it can have an impact on the morale of the team. And if anyone here on any team, whether within or without Toastmasters, has ever had to struggle with the morale of people on their team, you will know what that's like. And sometimes morale can be crushed very quickly, and it takes days, weeks, months, or longer to restore morale if it's not handled well. I trust I'm making sense here, and if I'm not, just stop me. If a question comes up, open your mic and say, hey, Mark, I got a question for you. Do you mind? And I'll be happy to take it on. But we got to gauge and use wisdom to understand our level of participation when we are in leadership. Because some leaders lord it over everybody. I got this. I got this. It's your job, but it's not really your job. I'm doing it for you. Who's been down that road before? Right? They tell you it's yours, but you're not doing it because they're doing it. They'll do it right. In my house, it's how I pat the dishwasher. I just don't even bother because I don't do it right. I love my bride. If she were here now, I'd let her say hi to you. She's an amazing, wonderful individual. But you got to communicate, educate, delegate, participate. This one's a toughie, but I think it's important for me to share it with you. Okay? And this one is, come on, Mark, get your act together. Can you see that screen? You got it? Okay. This one is to relate. What is wrong with my screen today? It's just bouncing back and forth. Stop. Stay still. Allow me to work with this. 2 screens, 1 brain. Ha ha. Okay. I chose this particular image because it shows an individual who is willing to invest a little time to build a relationship with a team member. I'm not calling upon you to get to know every individual on every team personally, their child's first name, date of birth, and their SSN. But sometimes finding out one common aspect of their life, maybe is a family connection. Maybe they're an aunt, they're a grandma, you're a grandma. Maybe they had a child who went to a particular college. Just something about them that you have in common with them. I have found when I have a manager or a supervisor or a boss with whom I have even one point of connection, I feel safer in the relationship. I feel more ready to communicate with them. And when I feel that they care about me. I've seen too many managers who simply know an individual based upon, oh, well, they are our club secretary. They are a treasurer. They handle this. They are known by their position and their responsibility, but not known as human beings. And I mentioned earlier in my first session that sometimes those individuals are quietly in pain. They have family concerns. They've got issues that they want to work through. And if someone said, hey, you okay? A phone call, a text, a WhatsApp, just to check on them could work wonders. I had a manager when I worked at Reader's Digest named Tom Belli. And I was part of a sales force. I worked with a sales force of about 500 people. He knew all their birthdays. And I'll not forget one Friday, my wife and my young son, David, probably 3 years old, came to Reader's Digest to see me for lunch. We had a really nice cafeteria there, and I was going to buy him lunch. And Tom, I'm brand new to that particular division, and Tom was out of his office carrying a folder. He was going to a meeting. Tom is big. Tom is about 6'4", 300 pounds. Well, 285. And he saw me, he said, hey, Mark, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the team. Hey, Tom, good to see you. Who's this? Oh, Tom, my wife, Andrea. How you doing? And this is my young son, David. Huh? Tom says, David, how old are you? I'm 3. Hey, David, do you like toys? Uh-huh. I saw Tom take my 3-year-old son into his office. Now, Tom's meeting began 2 minutes ago. I turned to his assistant. I said, what's he doing? And she gave me the, I had my wife and I said, what's he doing in there? I don't know. So he came out in about 2.5 minutes. I saw him moving. Wait, what? I looked. Before they got out the door, Tom, 6'4", 285, was on the floor with my 3-year-old son playing with a little toy car. And he said, hey, David, this car is yours. Thank you, sir. He got up, shook my hand, hi to my wife, walked on the hallway to his meeting. And in that moment, I made a decision. I said, there is nothing that Tom would ask me to do that I wouldn't do. Any CEO who would spend 2 minutes playing with my son, because he understands parenting, and what it means for me to be in a new job with a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old. Any boss who understands me like that, I will do anything I could for him. It wasn't manipulative. That's who Tom was. He called every sales rep on their birthday. He knew their names. Am I asking you to learn 500 names and to go on the floor? No, I'm simply asking you, can your team members relate to you? Do they know you share one commonality? Do they understand that you are happy to build a relationship with them? I can't answer that question for you, but I gotta ask. Can you relate to them? Communicate, educate, delegate, participate, relate. That's 5. We have 3 to go. When you are in that level of responsibility, if these 5 are beginning to flow for you, it becomes easier for you to then motivate your team. Now, that's a tricky one because deep down, I don't believe I can motivate anyone. I don't believe I can motivate anyone. I believe motivation is an inside job. I believe motivation can come when I examine myself, when I check myself. What can I do? How can I be the best that I can be? But as a leader, I believe one of my responsibilities is to inspire my team. So I'm going to ask for us to workshop this for a second. And real quickly, if you have one idea of a way to inspire your team, I invite you to open your mic, jump on. You do a raise hand first. We'll let you, and I'll acknowledge you. Raise your virtual hand, and just give us one idea that you believe is effective for inspiring your team. Yes, I'm going to go with Paul. Paul, please open your mic and share with us, please.
I think being able to use appropriate humor lessens some of the resistance that you might have in difficult conversations down the road.
Using appropriate humor can mitigate some of the potential conflicts down the road. I really appreciate that answer, Paul. I'll tell you why. Rarely have I heard anyone say, use humor as a tool to motivate, particularly in difficult situations, and to inspire, particularly with potential difficult situations. So thank you for that. Here's why I asked this question. I believe the answers are in the room. I do not believe Mark Brown holds the answers for you. I don't know your circumstance, your situation, your demographic, your culture. I believe the answers are in the room. Someone raised their hand and the hand went down. I don't know who, was it Shelley? Who was it?
It was me.
So what's one idea, Shelley, for inspiring your team? One idea.
What I do is when I was division director, I made sure we communicated on problems, but I also recognized them when we became President's Distinguished at the end of the year. I bought them all their dinners to go to our year-end celebration. I did recognition. That's how I inspire people. To recognize them on their good job that they do.
I'm going to address the idea of recognition a little bit later, and I have an idea.
Okay.
I want to append to what you said. So thank you for that recognition. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Viana, and then Bessie.
Yes, hi. Thank you for allowing me to share. What I do is talk directly to my team members, asking how can I help them, what their pain points are, what information, that they are in need of to be even more successful. So just having that communication line open. Yeah.
I really appreciate this. Here's why. You're seeing an intersection of these ideas as they work together to create an environment. It was the first one was communicate, but you use communication as a tool also in the inspiration piece. So did Bessie have her hand up and then Sherry?
I did.
Yes, Bessie, and then Sherry. And lastly, Bruce. Go ahead.
I did have my hand up and then I put it down because I doubted myself. But what I wanted to say, and the young lady said it earlier, but I'm no longer working with a big team. I would always really acknowledge the entire team as we were going on a regular basis. And we would meet, twice a month. So I wouldn't just wait until the end of the year. That's the difference. And I also would enlist their ideas, and as many ideas as we could implement from them. That's what we did. And they really, really, truly appreciated their ideas were being heard.
Beautiful. By accepting, first of all, asking for their ideas, they are inspired to respond. And when you can implement their ideas, they can continually be inspired to do even better. I did say Sherry and then Bruce, but I do want to move on before our time is up. So Sherry and then Bruce.
What I used to do as a supervisor is, as much as possible, have my people that I was supervisor for make decisions, so that it was a joint decision and not just my decision, unless I absolutely had to make it personally. I would, as you said, remember their birthdays. I get them a little card or something so that I'd acknowledge that. But one thing I would do periodically is, have I remembered to thank you lately? Just, I might be on my way out the door or something, and I'd say, have I remembered to do that? Because so many things go on. Sometimes it's hard to remember to do those things regularly.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. I know I said Bruce was last. Bruce, and then we have to move on. I apologize for that. But Bruce, what was your one idea?
Just a simple point is, make it fun to collaborate and to do the job. If people enjoy one another, they support one another, and together they get a lot more done. And in my experience, when you can build a team like that, you just get out of the way and let them perform.
Make it fun. Thank you so much. I can remember working at Reader's Digest as a computer programmer, and they used to have what they call team building days. And I know 21st century, their organizations have team building retreats. I would like to maintain the thought about Toastmasters, and I don't believe in Toastmasters you're going to get up and go somewhere to Hilton Head, South Carolina for a weekend and have a team building retreat. But you can have team building exercises when you have your meetings. For us, it was simply pizza and a movie on a Friday afternoon. We just cut our day 2 hours short to have pizza and a movie. To say, hey, I want you guys to know, I want all of you to know how much I appreciate what you're doing. I want to inspire you to keep doing what you're doing. Here's a bit of a reward. I mean, it wasn't, a cash reward, even though in some cases that does work in business. But I invite you to be creative. How can you be creative within your roles in Toastmasters to be inspirational? Just think about that. And I'm going to invite you to hear, knowing what you heard today before, I'm going to invite you to think about how could I inspire? And one way to arrive at an answer is to go back and think of ways you had been inspired by those before you. When you had a good leader who was very inspirational, what did they do to inspire you? Think of some of the best leaders you ever had in your life, and perhaps take a page out of their book so they can be the ones to inspire you, and then you can pass along that inspiration to your team. And I hope that makes some sense to you. So we communicate, we educate, we delegate, we participate. We certainly want to relate, and we do our best to motivate. CEDPRM, 6 down, 2 to go. When these particular practices become part and parcel of who we are in leadership, for me, it's an indication of one aspect of our character which I think should go without saying, and that is to dedicate yourself to the task. However, my suggestion may be a little unusual when I say, yes, we assume we're going to be dedicated to our job, our responsibility, our role, if you will, within the organization, within our club, within our district. But for some, their fulfillment comes from taking that dedication a step further and saying, I am dedicated to the organization, I am dedicated to the mission, and I am dedicated to the people who are on mission with me. What does that look like? One simple change of language. You can tell me Y for yes or N for no. Have you ever heard a leader, perhaps within Toastmasters or otherwise, ask the question, can I count on you? Can I trust you? Can I rely on you? Can I depend on you? Please prove it to me. I've seen several yeses in the chat. My suggestion is twofold. One, change the question into a statement. So change the can I and the you to the you can and the me. You can count on me. You can trust me. You can rely on me. You can depend on me to do all I can to help you fulfill your role to the best of your ability. Personal pet peeve and a personal quirk. I often hear people saying, asking, challenging, can I depend on you? Can I count on you? I need to trust you. I need to lead. But they never say, you can trust me. You can rely on me. You can count on me. Count on me through thick and thin, a friendship that, sorry, I digress. Rabbit hole, squirrel. Okay. I'm asking you to think about your Toastmasters club, area, division, district in this last 6-month run. Do the people in your club, your area, your division and district know that as a leader they can count on you? Let's not make it a given. Let's say it. Communicate with them. You can count on me to educate you. You can count on me to give you responsibility. You can count on me to be there when you need me. You can count on me to provide the inspiration you need to complete your task. Because by so doing, we are becoming the example to them. And hopefully at some point in their life, they're the ones saying, you can count on me. You can trust me. You can depend on me. And their mindset is shifted not so much by the words that we use, but by the life we live and the example that we set. And when we are dedicated, it's going to show. Because I'm sure all of us at some point have seen leaders who said they were dedicated and they were just dead. Are we being real here? I invite you to think about that. Please think about that. That you have the opportunity to, by what you do, by how you live, by how you work within your club, serving as a mentor, as you get older and get more experience, maybe being a club mentor, being a resource. That level of dedication is going to be seen. And you and I have what I call invisible influence. We don't know the influence that we have. And somebody taught me that. My same little son, David. I was traveling 5 days a week. I was out the door. I hated to say goodbye to my little baby guy, but I came home from work one Friday evening. I got on a plane, came back home, and I was so happy to see my son say, hey, give me a David hug. He had his arms outstretched. As I got close, my little boy said, talk to the hand, which was popular back 25 years ago. Anybody recall that line, talk to the hand? I was like, what? I'm like, son, where did you get that from? And he looked up at me, big, beautiful brown eyes, and he said, you want a piece of me, huh? I'm like, where did that come from? And then it hit me. David has an older brother and older sister. And talk to the hand, he had seen his sister, who was 10 years older than him, he had seen her use that. Because, when you're 13 years old back in the day, talk to the hand was very easy to say. His brother is 7 years older than he is. You want a piece of me? You got to flex, right? You got to man up. He was 3. He had no idea what those words meant, but he had learned to say them because he had seen his siblings use them, and they had no idea they were influencing him because they didn't see their own invisible influence. And I say that to say to you, my friends, you and I have invisible influence. And our dedication, diligently shown and working hard, is all someone else needs to see to be inspired. I do have one more idea for you. And I want to go back to the idea of appreciating those who serve with you. We had two individuals who talked about that earlier, and I thank you for mentioning it. I'm going to stop sharing here because here's where the rubber meets the road. We talked about, team building. I heard somebody mention sending them a note. Someone said saying thank you. Well, I believe it's important to appreciate those who work with you. And in this moment, I want to ask a question, a very serious question. In your club, area, division, and district, are there individuals who have served on your team who you really appreciate? If so, put a Y in the chat for yes. I'm going to look at the names. If there's even one person in your club, your area, your division, or your district who you appreciate and you'd want to say thanks to, please put it in the chat. I'm going to scroll down and see what's happening in my chat. Oh, I got one person. Okay, I'll take one. 35 more. Here we go. Here they come. Okay. The last request I have of you is to express your appreciation to that person. But I'd like you to send them to grab your mobile device if you have one. I'm going to ask you to grab your phone, find them in your contacts, and right now, while we're here in this meeting, I'm going to ask you to let them know how much you appreciate them. Right now, right here. I'm not talking about, look, if you want to SMS or WhatsApp, fine. But if you can, I invite you to leave that person a voice note right now. Right now. Grab your mobile phone, open it up, find that name, leave them a voice note, and I'm going to give you 60 seconds to do that. I'm going to be quiet. Our time is winding down, and I would like to know if anybody in the room received a voicemail, a voice message just now. Okay, Anis's hand is up, Valerie's hand is up. So you're receiving them in the room, which is really, really cool. My time is almost completely up. I don't have much to add, but I cannot stop until I find out from at least two people what you received. So since Anis's hand came up and she didn't ask a question earlier, I'm going to ask her to tell us about what happened just now when someone sent you a thank you.
Oh, thank you. I received the message. This person told me, I want to say I appreciate you. I love you. You are an amazing person, administration manager. And
Oh, wow. Thank you so very much. Two more. Who we got? Who will share? Who will dare to share before I call you out? Okay, there's Verna. Go ahead.
Sorry. Let me quickly, Mark. So mine was a bit different. I still got WhatsApp group for when I was division director. So I said to the 4 persons, thank you for being open, for being receptive. Thank you for being that team that helped us to become a President's Distinguished Division. Thank you for continuing, even as you elevated, to call on me to help me grow by helping you continue to grow. Thank you guys so much. And one of them, my area director, he's now the district director for District 47. And so that was my thank you for them. And they still call on me as a support.
Excellent.
That
Excellent.
Thanks.
Thank you. Now, Pat, did you receive a voice message just now?
Yes, I did get a text message here that says, Pat, I really appreciate your dedication to the Hinesburg Races Club. You have been the glue that kept our club together. You are awesome. Smiley face.
How'd that feel?
It feels great.
And when we send those messages out to other people, they're going to feel the same way. And genuine appreciation goes a long way to bring somebody who may be on the edge back into the fold. What we say and share, people need to know they're valued. And as leaders, if we can let them know we appreciate and value them, it makes a world of difference. Anybody else received? Just give me a hand if you received. Thank you. I see Elizabeth got one as well. Excellent. I'm glad you all received those. I'm even more happy that you sent them.
Sent one.
They say it is more blessed to give than to receive. When you both give and receive, it's a double blessing. I invite you all, as leaders, before this year is up, it's your last hurrah, as the strong, mighty bamboos. You want to get things done? Communicate, educate, delegate, participate, relate, motivate, dedicate, and appreciate the people who work with you. Together, you will remain strong, you will finish strong, and don't forget, invest the time. Take your time and take time. Teamwork, take one for the team. And transformation, you must take charge of your change. You put all these together, you add these 8 simple ways to get things done, and I believe your success is almost guaranteed. District 103, it's been a pleasure, an honor, and a privilege to serve you today. Here's to your continued success. Blessings, everyone.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mark Brown. Thank you. Now, I know you felt that. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
I know you realize the team factor. Time.
Yes.
Is he going to share that with us so we can be inspired the rest of the year? I know sometimes they don't like to share things, but I was going to ask him.
Well,
I know, Shelley, I know, I got you, Shelley. I got you, okay?
Okay.
You and I know you. I got you, all right?
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
By the way, is the recording being saved for the district as well?
Yes.
Thank you. Honored to be of service. Thank you so very much.
Oh,
and by the way, thanks to all of you who are sending your good wishes to my homeland of Jamaica. That was just really struck hard by Hurricane Melissa last week. Thank you. I appreciate that. My family in Kingston they're all safe, but there's much work to be done, and we appreciate all the prayers, all the gifts, all the support. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, man,
Go ahead.
Hey, Valerie, I wanted to know, you know how I am about taking photos. You want to do photos?
Sure.
Sure, why not? You need 2 or 3 because you got 100 people here.
Oh,
you got 90
yes.
people here, so you might need 3 screens.
I'm calling on my favorite person who knows how to do it. Mary, would you be welcome to do screenshots for me?
I can do it.
Cool.
Okay, camera's on.
Hold on, let me put my lipstick on.
Let me get my Beyonce together.
Oh, let me take my hand too.
Summer now.
All right, let us know when you're ready.
All right. So I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, and I'll take the picture. And there's like a couple pages, so I will try my best. So let's go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, got the first picture. I'll just save that real quick. All right, and then now on to the second page. So 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, good.
That's it.
And now I'm gonna go to the third page. Okay. 1, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, looking great. And one last page, so. Just take that picture. 1, 2, 3, smile. All right, got everyone. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mary.
And thank you. And Valerie, I saw in the chat a few folks were trying to get a hold of me. If you do me a favor and just snap that QR code real quick, you'll get hold of me that way. Just snap that QR code and contact me offline. I'll be happy to communicate with anybody who wants to talk to me further. It'll also let me know what you thought of my talk today. So just take a picture of that and handle it later on. Okay? Thank you so very much. I'll leave that there for a second in case anybody missed it.
It would be a good podcast.
All right, so just let me just move that out of the way here. I'll give you 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Thank you all so very, very much. My honor to serve you. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. Now we can hear from our trio.
All right. Well, all right. I guess I can go first. Then we go backwards. Start with but this was a great, oh my God, this TLI and Mark Brown. I have to say your name all together. Mark Brown. I just want to give you a hand clap. I mean, you're humble, you're transparent, you taught us a lot, about leadership. I mean, it's just amazing. And that's just something that we need today is strong leaders, honest leaders, just to lead us in where we need to be now and into the future. And I put in the chat, I definitely want you to put in this here TLI survey. This is the overall survey where you're going to get feedback for Mark Brown, our education speakers, and also what you just heard from the bonus session. I just think that feedback is great and that everybody needs to know how well they did, but also what was the impact from the actual TLI. This is our last winter TLI. We have one more, but that's going to be in person next year. But I'll let our PQD tell it all. So thank you everyone for taking out the time to invest in you as a leader so you can grow within the next 6 months. Because that's all we have left, but you want to end with a bang. All right, to Dr. Alison Williams, our program quality director.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. I am so excited about all that we're going to do this year, and you just kicked it off. We are off to a running start. I am excited, excited, excited. We have our in-person conference coming up. We are going to do a mic drop, take a bow, because we're going bigger and bolder and beyond. And Mark, you just told us how to do that. Thank you so very, very much. And for our summer TLI, we are monetizing it to the T. She told us we was trailblazing. We are trend setting, and we are definitely transformed. Absolutely. Thank you so very much for everyone who came today, participated in everything that we had to offer. And Mark, you are a servant leader. Back to you.
We hear from Mark.
I believe that means I'm next. Thank you, Mark Brown, for coming and teaching us many things. At the beginning of the TLI, I said it was going to be entertaining. It was not only entertaining, it was informative, it was enlightening. Valerie, you made the great choice of having Mark Brown have come as a keynote speaker for us. I hope everybody enjoyed the TLI as much as I did. I was not part of the organization, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thanks again, Mark, and hope to see you soon.
Well, I guess I will be closing out. Thank you again so much, Mark. You know you like family. I really appreciate your message. I appreciate you being here and putting up with me and all of my craziness. And for everybody here, I want to thank you. Thank you so much for attending this winter TLI, spending all day Saturday with us. And for my very first time being the dean, oh, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for putting up with all of my crazy. I love you all so much. You just don't know how much. And I appreciate your smiles. And I want you to do something that I learned in kindergarten, which is the most important part of my retirement. Take a good nap. You'll appreciate it. I'm telling you, it's a wonderful thing having naps.
Thank you, Valerie. Great
You're
job.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you all. Have a
welcome.
blessed day and a great weekend. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you to all.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Awesome job, everybody.
Bye,
Take
everyone.
care.
Fantastic.
Wonderful job.
Fantastic.
Wonderful job.